3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Chill PRISM podcast. I'm Rusty,
And I'm your host, Ben. I'm glad that you chose to join us for a second time. We apologize for the extreme long form of our previous episode, but, you're welcome.
Right off the bat, Benny boy, I have a bone to pick with you.
What's up?
So
What's
when
going
you
on?
gave me my name, Rusty Shackelford,
Your mom gave you that name.
I thought that was just something you came up with off
No.
the top of your head.
Absolutely not.
After using that name on a public platform, I realized that is the name of a conspiracy guy from the show King of the Hill, and I cannot use that for monetary gain. Also, offensive.
How is it offensive? What do you mean?
It's me, except with, I
With
have
less
all my
hair
teeth.
and you don't smoke as much.
Yeah. So, we're just going to go with Rusty Boy, Russ, or Russell.
I don't think I've ever used your full name, even in the previous podcast.
Well, now everybody knows that you f***ed up. I mean, screwed up.
Thanks. Jiminy Christmas. Useless. Okay, moving on. Let's get all of our stuff. Let's get it together.
Okay.
Let's get together.
So I've been putting on an act. I actually have something important to tell you about. I've been putting on an act for a little bit, trying to be in a good mood because I have some actually upsetting news.
Well,
when you had texted me saying you were coming over, I also got a notification shortly after as well. You're on your way over. The lead guitarist of Killswitch, Adam Dutkowitz. Did you hear the news?
This is a sick prank, you monster. Don't
God
ever do
damn
that to me. He's like, you think I wouldn't know?
It was COVID.
COVID got him.
It didn't work. I'm sorry.
No, it would never work.
So hard.
My that would shatter the instant that
I
the
want to
man
make you
left.
cry. I can't wait for science bit because you're gonna cry.
You're just asking me to walk off the balcony of your apartment complex.
You don't even have to try. It's pretty shady.
It is one of the worst pavement jobs I've ever seen in my life. Like leading up to your stairs, like you see, it looks like somebody took a grinding wheel to portions of your sidewalk.
Oh, that was
sidewalk
recent.
panels.
That was recent.
And
It wasn't even. It's not a grinding wheel. When you punch a hole in your wall and your dad makes you re-spackle it. Nobody punched a hole in the wall, but they covered cracks with just more cement, and they didn't even it out or anything. They just laid it down and left. They didn't put stuff around it to be like, hey, don't walk here, it's wet. I'm like, and so there's just these lumps. They're smooth, but they're lumps just randomly in the sidewalk.
You can tell they used to not be smooth. It's like they were fearing a lawsuit, like the edge kept catching someone's shoe or something.
Yeah,
and so they just shaved them exactly level with each other. It's like that's sketchy.
Yeah, they did that. They put that stuff down last month. It hasn't even been there that long. So beforehand, it was just potholes.
But that is an excellent precursor to what you see shortly afterwards. That's excellent foreshadowing. Because the second we get to your
Silent Hill staircase,
each one of them lean away, and they have several different pieces of metal, different shapes, different sizes, and different states of disrepair and rust.
Yeah,
going all the way up to your home. And then when you get to the top level, there's a giant hump just in the concrete up there.
Yeah. Because
for some reason, we don't want level walking surfaces as high up as you're going to be on that. You want to just really, really chance and see what you can get away with lawsuit wise.
Like, I don't know what magician, shady Loki-esque magician was living here before us, but like, when you walk into like your dad's garage and he's got the shelves, they're made of wood, plywood.
Yeah.
And after about 10 years, they start to sag just in the middle because they're plywood. I don't understand how the concrete platform is doing that, but it's doing that.
Does it get worse? It looks like it gets worse every time.
Hold on a second.
Sorry, his dog needed antibiotics.
So anyway, yeah, I got a saggy platform right out of my front door.
Yeah.
And the handrails, don't put your hand on there unless you have one of them gloves that they sell you on Facebook where they like have a knife to their hand. Yeah, like, and they're like uncuttable. Like, that is the rustiest thing I've ever seen. And my name is Rusty.
That's saying something. That's a glowing endorsement.
But yeah, there's different just razor blade shaped edges on the stairs. They're all facing
like up towards your chin,
yeah,
so that when you fall, you get uppercutted.
Yeah, like
Just
don't
cheese grated.
Don't slip. Like, don't just like big toe the next step when you're stepping up, you know? Because if you slide, you will banana peel your shin so bad.
Oh my goodness, I can feel it. Like, I can feel exactly what you're talking about.
Every day I worry about this. And then the ice comes. And do they put salt down? No. No, they don't. Do I? No. Because I plan on living off of a very, very hefty lawsuit.
Which I'm confident you will get.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And you'll win too. They won't even have to take like a close up shot of the stairs for the courtroom photos. They'll just like swing the video camera by it for like a split second. Even incredibly blurry, they'll know that those are not fit for
and all you
life.
gotta do is be outside and just with the fucking Sony voice recorder, and you can hear fucking Pyramid Head's knife scraping the ground. This place is terrifying when it's misty outside.
I'm not as worried for you. Like, I feel as though you've probably done something to deserve the pain and suffering that will befall you when you descend down those stairs against your will. However, your wife has done nothing wrong.
My sweetheart of a wife.
She's so kind.
Who is quite clumsy, by the way. Like
I'm worried for her.
I worry about her every time I hear the beep beep of her Toyota when she pulls up.
Is that like the main reason why you're the one who takes down the trash? It's like
yeah. Like, I don't want her going down the stairs if I don't have to. Like, it terrifies me.
No one wants to be a widow in their 20s.
Downstairs.
Wait, what? Oh,
the guy that's awake at all times.
Gotcha.
Except for at 8 o'clock at night. That's supposedly when he sleeps in his living room.
Apartments, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's get on to our first segment. This one's going to be the new brew review, and I'd spoken so highly of the Sapporo that it got my lips nice and wet.
Ew.
So today we are going to enjoy a Sapporo. You know, see if
these steel cans.
See if the bite matches the bark.
Woof.
All right, check that bad boy out. Tell me what you think about that.
That, I gotta say, I made fun of you for being so uppity about this can, but that is a nice can.
Dude, it's so substantial. There's several facets carved into the can. Like, why?
This is... Wow.
That's too much.
So, I'm gonna say, you've seen this before. You've drank out of this before. And instead of mentioning the shape as to why you can't frat boy it on your forehead, you said it's made of steel. No, this thing is reinforced.
Steel reinforced?
No,
it's plated?
It's the way it's shaped. It's made to not be crushed. It looks like a pint glass. Am I wrong? Is that what I'm supposed to say? A pint glass?
It does look.
It's got
like a pint glass.
The hourglass shape, except it's...
It actually, now that you say that, it looks like a filled pint glass with a giant head of foam on it. Looking at the coloring, that gradient.
That's true, yeah.
It's super nice. Super nice.
This is great looking.
Yeah. So you ready to crack these bad boys on my count?
I just trimmed
premature son of a...
I just trimmed my fingernails, so maybe. All right.
Let's see what
3, 2.
You fucking monster.
I will never lose.
That didn't sound as good as I would have thought.
No, that sounded horrible, but I think it's because the mouth hole is tiny. And I gotta say, after it's decarbonated, there's no pressure. This is a thick boy.
I'm telling you.
These cans, it's not steel. I refuse to be stupid, but this is a thick fucking can.
Don't lie to our audience like that. You actively engage in stupidity on a regular basis.
I am always the smartest person in the room.
Now you see me.
This
Zuckerberg. All right. Let's get a couple. Let's get a glug.
Okay.
Let's get a glug.
Give my first sip impression.
All right. Get your tracheotomy mic. Put it right up to your. Yeah. There we go. So good.
Okay, so right off the bat,
what do you taste on that?
It tastes German.
I totally understand that.
Being of a different hue, I do not expect you to be more German than Cone Nose over here. But judging from how much you raved about this beer, can already tell that you like German beers more than I do.
Yes. I like German beers quite a bit. We actually have a really cool spot near us that I will take you to eventually where they serve you liter steins.
Very nice.
And I'm not going to lie. It took me a bit to work up to this.
There's a certain syrupiness. Syrupiness? Syrupiness to lots of German beers that I'm just giving my impressions of what the taste is. This tastes malty, right? That's the word. Yeah. It's thick. It tastes thick. It's not necessarily thick, but it tastes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know beer.
Yeah.
We just drink it.
We really should. The name of the podcast should really be "We Don't Know." ...
Yeah, we don't know. Don't ever quote me on anything I've ever said or will say during this podcast. I will refute it on the spot, even if you play it back for me.
First,
it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's great tasting. Yeah, I can confirm on a second tasting it is still great, and even on a third. So, Jesus. No, the first beer that I tried that was of this
quality,
this style of beer came in a bottle. It was 13%, and it was some Canadian brewery.
Okay,
and it literally tastes like maple syrup that somebody took a piss in. Like, it was so thick, it wasn't good. Like, it was thrown together.
I can get behind that.
But it has the same like flavor profile. Maybe that's a word. It's just It's just actually doesn't taste like shit.
Yeah, I think hoppiness, when done right, to a way that I like not in an IPA, the way that I like the hops to be expressed in a beer is for it to just be a nice punctuation at the end of a beer. So that's when you know, like, okay, you're done with this flavor being in your mouth now, and then it slowly just fades away. Whereas in IPA, it feels like it's like a burnt eraser smell that you can't get out of your nose, except that's the flavor in your mouth. It's so displeasing to me. I want to like IPAs so bad. I want it. I want IPAs to be something that I go for because they have all the best labels. They have the best names. They're never the cheapest, but man, the IPAs they're the cool kids beer. But
yeah,
I just can't get behind it.
Should have came out a lot harder before they legalized marijuana.
Yes.
Because the stoner crowd, just like every IPA that you see, you go, that's for stoners, right?
Absolutely.
But stoners are too busy getting stoned to drink their beer. So I have to.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, no, IPAs, I don't know what it is. IPAs are so refreshing. Like when it's 150 million degrees outside.
My bad. I think it's because you dare not drink it warm. You never.
Oh,
you
yeah,
will never
true.
drink an
Don't
IPA.
Drink an IPA.
Warm.
If you drink an IPA that's warm, you might as well throw up in the toilet and put a straw in there and suck it back up. Like, that's what it tastes like.
That's actually what psychiatrists use to identify sociopaths. So they'll set a warm IPA in front of someone, and if they take a second drink, they know they got one.
Yeah, no, that's don't do that. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
So what's the percentage on this bad boy?
I don't think it's that much. I think it's only like 5.5.
That's sad.
I don't know. I have no clue, man. I'm gonna assume that it's weak.
Sapporo, Vietnam.
I know, man. Product
That
of
definitely
Vietnam.
didn't come through because I had the mic to my cheek.
You gotta work on your mic discipline, bro.
So we're drinking Charlie's beer.
Charlie's beer.
Yeah.
What?
The VC. The Viet Cong.
Okay. I gotcha. That went
My
way over my
grandpappy didn't serve in Vietnam just so I could taste their beers.
Or piss water.
This is a disgrace to his memory.
No, I love it. I mean, I would have and will continue to purchase this again.
Yeah, that I don't know if I'd buy it myself because that's a lot of beer.
Yeah, it is
in one can.
It really is.
And if I'm gonna have that much in my hand, I might as well just get a 40.
Just rip the Band-Aid off like a man.
My go-to 40 is a Red's Wicked Ale.
Is that actually a 40? Do they make 40s of it?
Oh yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
This is happening.
It's 8p.
Guys, we're that I think that's gonna be an ideal beverage of choice when we do Let's Plays.
We're
mulling around the idea.
I already do that without streaming. I mean, I just do that by myself.
Let's Plays?
No, like drink a 40 of Red's Wicked and fucking play video games.
Yeah.
Or watch Netflix. Mostly fall asleep though.
I said I'm just going to spend that entire time recording your inappropriate comments.
Yeah, no, like you'll have to use lots of beeps and you'll probably get offended.
Ignore everything Russ says. Just
I can't imagine what Roseanne comes out of me when I'm that drunk.
You're the worst.
We're the best. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah, we're on the fence.
Just don't jump over it.
So how was touching back on the previous weeks for science? How was that one chip challenge poop? The post chip poop?
I don't know yet.
It's just still in there?
No, I don't feel it anymore. So the second day, I went to work and told everybody. Now, if you remember, I had made the comment that nobody was allowed to call in that day. That was because it was a special day where we were probably going to do overtime, had it not been for the fact that they underestimate how good we are at doing
Our
dumb
jobs.
bullshit. But he made sure to tell us, our manager, nobody's allowed to call in, nobody's allowed to take vacation unless it's already been put in and approved, all this stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to go to work and fucking shit myself to death. Like, I did not, I was so scared. Like, I was legitimately like, I don't know if we can continue this podcast if this is how he's going to be to me. So the first thing I did is... when I got to work, I didn't want to poop yet because I didn't want to miss clock in. So I sat in the break room and let it brew.
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to be horrible. Like,
See,
I was like, this is not. I was afraid of the wet that was going to come out of my rectum.
That's a pro tip, ladies and gentlemen. Never poop before you clock in. You always get paid to do it.
So immediately at 5:55,
Yes.
I swiped that badge. And I head in, and I still don't go to the bathroom because I'm like, I need to get where I'm going. I don't want to get a shit station for this day. I want to be, because what we were doing is we were doing inventory on supplies and stuff.
Right.
So I didn't want to be put in some shitty area. I wanted to be in the parts room because it was a very open area. I didn't want to be stuck in some substation with somebody who's got a bad attitude because I will be shitting my britches. That parts room is very open. So
it actually, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the
It's
one
the ideal
area.
spot
It's perfect. It's so vented. So I honestly didn't. It wasn't brewing hard where I was like clenching my cheeks. I was like,
Right.
If I went in and pushed, I could go.
Right.
But I waited till probably about 9:30 before I went, okay, I'm going to go poop now.
I feel like the venom was taken out of that cobra, man. Because the last time I had done it, I was instantly involuntary hiccuping. My face was just emitting all fluids that I've consumed for the past like 30 years, even though I've only been alive for like a third of that.
Oh yeah, the hiccups.
2/3.
The hiccups were bad. So,
and I vomited night of.
Yeah, I don't vomit because I ain't a bitch, but like that ain't true. I did one shot of Everclear one time. Actually, I've done 2 shots of Everclear in my life. The first time I was 16.
What are the statutes of limitations on that? I don't think anyone's going to pursue.
I'm 23. It's been over 5 years.
Okay.
So, and I didn't have an issue. Last time I took it was like 2 years ago. Immediately vomited for like a 3-hour straight period and had,
oh my goodness,
like it was rough, and I burnt my esophagus so bad, and I had such bad indigestion that Peanut gave me Nexium, which is that heartburn medication that fucking Larry the Cable Guy advertises for.
Oh my goodness.
It worked like a charm for 24 hours later, but that first few, I mean, I thought I was either having a heart attack or, yeah, so like, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm too old for 99% alcohol.
Everybody's too old and also too young at the same time for Everclear.
But back to the chip, the night of, if you want to rewind to that, so like after I had taken it, immediately after I ate it, I had the hiccups. You can hear that on recording, but they went away pretty quick. After you went home, I don't remember what I did exactly, but I didn't go straight to bed. But I went to bed pretty quickly, pretty shortly afterwards. As soon as my head hit that pillow, I hiccuped for 4 hours straight. And my wife can attest to that because she was not happy. She's like, I have to work in the morning. So, but after that, all it was just I could feel a glow in my gut. It lets
you know of its presence.
It was like somebody left the pilot light on in the water heater that is my asshole.
I like that. I can get behind that.
But yeah, so around 9:30 the next morning is when I finally went, well, it's not going to force its way out, so I'm just going to go ahead and go. So this is how it went in this sequence. Normal turd, hot turd, normal turd, and it never hurt ever again.
That is crazy. It didn't localize itself to that one.
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing. I've had hotter shits since then from Taco Bell.
That is
today,
amazing.
Because I had 3 bean burritos last night.
That is amazing. You are the chosen one, man.
I don't know how I did it, because normally my shits are hot, like, just automatically. So I was amazed. I was so surprised. Like, but if you want to know how that day went, I spent the next hour. So we would get our counts in and wait for our boss to come back with recounts and problems. So in downtime, I was in the dispatch office with our dispatcher researching the hottest materials I could find to get payback on you. And I'm doing something different.
Wait, so you're going to capsaicin?
See my eyes. They're beams.
What happened?
I decided something better.
You decided?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're taking the high road, because you're a good dude.
No, not better for you. Better for me.
I don't know how to interpret this.
You'll see. Or feel. Anyway, listeners.
Listeners, have you're aware of, oh my goodness, Ben Stiller's model film, right?
What?
Model Ben Stiller?
Film?
Yeah.
Oh,
where he was a model. He's a
supermodel.
Zoolander, yeah. You remember like the ice blue?
No.
That whole movie? Well, Will Ferrell plays a character in there.
Yeah.
What was his name? Mugatu.
Okay.
Mugatu. You had the exact look. Your eyebrows even took the shape of the Mugatu stuff that was pasted on Will Ferrell's face.
I apologize for looking like gay Will Ferrell.
Who said he was gay?
Will Ferrell. I'll never do it again. Actually, no, just the context of that movie. Literally the only thing I remember from that movie is the gasoline fight. That's the funniest shit I've seen in years.
Oh my goodness, I love that film. If ever I get famous, I will Adam Sandler / Ben Stiller the crap out of all of my friends.
Hell yeah.
Like, hey, we're going to Hawaii, by the way. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I wrote a role for you. And by the way, you don't have to act because I literally just wrote you with a different name.
Yeah, Kevin James, you can just be a fat bastard, like you are.
There you go.
In Hawaii. And he'll go, okay, can I wear a fake mustache and not carry a gun and be on a Segway? I don't care. Sure.
Like, just show up on time.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you don't have, you could, I don't care. The studio's paying us money. He has such a fucking long-ass deal with Netflix. He's still coming out with a new movie every year.
Kevin James?
No, Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler,
for Netflix.
Yeah.
It's insane. That happened in like 2016 is when he signed that deal. And I saw one that's called Hubie Halloween or something.
Is it actually good?
I'm not going to watch it. He plays the water boy, but during Halloween time, basically, is what I got from the trailer. So I don't want to feel bad for laughing at it. So
the thumbnail checks out. The thumbnail checks out and corroborates your story. I actually had been on Netflix myself, and then I'd seen, I don't know if it was some like implanting that I'd done from our previous podcast, but Little Nicky.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie, but I saw that it was on Netflix, so I need to watch it.
I watched it.
Is it the first time you saw it?
It was the first time I'd seen Little Nicky, and I don't have the nostalgia that I do with Waterboy or Happy Madison or
Billy Madison,
Happy Gilmore, both of those films, and so I got to look at it through the appropriate lens, and it was awful.
Yeah, as an adult.
Yeah, it was awful. I didn't have a bad time, but I felt bad for my girlfriend that I was dragging through the entire
That movie,
experience.
just from the sounds of it, sounds horrible.
It's awful. I think it had to have been like an SNL character that they just fleshed out to a whole film. That's the only way. That's the only way it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. That Adam Sandler's a retarded genius.
Yes. I mean, he seems like a genuinely great dude. But then I'd seen him in the movie The Cobbler.
Yeah, you mentioned that last episode.
I was warmed up to him in the movie Click. I think Click is like it's like a teenager film, whereas Uncut Gems is supposed to be his, like, I'm an adult and I can make a mature film. And it was so good. The Cobbler was so enjoyable.
Does he make shoes in that movie?
Click, like, made me feel things.
I haven't seen Click. I saw it once.
Well, I think it's...
I only remember the flap.
The tongue. The gut tongue. You know, the movie Click is essentially Cats in the Cradle, except just the movie. Right? Mm-hmm. So you're familiar with the premise of the Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon. It's just a dad talking to his son. Is like,
my son got mad because he worked all the time. He grew up to be a jerk. Just like me. Yeah, that's not my joke. That's Tim Hawkins.
You thief.
No, I'm not a thief because I said it was
You credit the artist.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And this isn't on
this
Twitch,
mic sounds
so we
so
can
spacey
do
right now. Does this sound spacey on your side? The mic? My mic?
I can't tell.
Okay, well, whatever.
It doesn't sound spacey to me. Kevin Spacey?
Absolutely.
Speaking of Kevin Spacey, did you see his newest... Do you know the stuff that's going on with Spacey?
Is he the pedophile one?
Yeah, like he had a picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell while he sitting on the Queen's throne. Like he's a supervillain. Dude. But every Christmas for the past 3 years, or every Christmas Eve, he comes out with a video. But he's still playing Frank from House of Cards.
Oh.
It's so ominous.
So I had actually seen something like that. Like he's been doing this for a while then. For quite some time. He's still just reprising his role against their will.
Yeah, so he got fired off that show as soon as the allegations came out. And then he made that year that the allegation came out, he got fired. He made a video called, I don't remember, but in the character of Frank, whatever his name is from that show,
Yeah.
basically threatening people. I mean, if you listen to it, it's like
threatening to out them or what?
No, like threatening his accuser. Like it's so vague. But like he's literally making super villain monologues. I'm not even kidding.
That's unsettling.
And then the next year he did another one, and then this year he released a third one. The third one is him in a park, and it's filmed on a cell phone camera. But there's little aspects to it so that you know that he had a crew with him and there was a budget involved.
He's spending money on this?
Yeah, there's a set involved in the first two. Like they built a set in
It looked like that was just his
stage.
house.
No, that's a soundstage. He's paying money to make these videos.
It must be good money because nobody wants to
He's a millionaire.
Nobody
pedophile,
wants to be known
super villain.
Nobody wants to be known for working with pedophiles. Like, yeah, I work for a pedophile. That's an uncomfortable thing to admit to people.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's too late. He is literally the god of pedophiles right now. And I'm not saying that as a compliment. I'm just saying he's literally Lex Luthor if Lex Luthor had a kid fetish. It's creepy. But like it's so terrifying. It makes like obviously pedophilia makes me uncomfortable. But
because you're a human being with a conscience.
But like those videos, it's I don't understand how the reaction to these videos isn't more. It's so terrifying. But this latest video was about suicide.
Well, I am the type of person to hide underneath my covers and pretend that the monster isn't there. Like 98% of the people. And you need to get on with the fucking program.
No, I like looking at monsters and knowing they're real. Didn't you ever watch that Pixar movie?
Oh, Monsters, Inc.?
Yeah. Sully was a nice pedophile.
Okay. Anyway, going back to my beautiful Cats in the Cradle story, you monster.
I have no idea how we segued into that.
I don't know either. I think there's just like a famous actor.
Spacey.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Cats in the Cradle, that game with yarn.
Yeah. But I think the reason why, like, that was a cheap pot shot at me, just because I'm always doing something. I'm always busy doing one thing or another. And I feel like that's robbed me of at least 2 relationships that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm never busy doing anything. That's my biggest issue.
I've already pawned off like 2 or 3 responsibilities on you, and you've been proven. Like, it's true. You're not busy.
Yeah.
Because they are not done.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Well, first of all, our acoustic treatment.
Oh, yeah. No, but I am working on that.
That's true. I did see progress.
Yeah.
Listeners, he has been working for you.
Well, first of all, the sewing machine came in.
Wait, you got a sewing machine?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to say, like, your stitches looked really good. It looked like you were focusing with like a magnifying glass.
No.
No. I'm just imagining like a sniper rifle scope on a sewing needle.
Yeah. No, the sewing machine I had already ordered for my wife, and it came in a few days before Christmas, probably like right after we recorded the last episode, but she didn't want to open it up until at least Christmas. So the day after Christmas, I just opened it and started working. And so, or no, it would have been Sunday.
Why didn't you just ask your wife to do it? You're like, hey, babe, you want to use your new toy?
I don't ask my wife to do much.
That's probably good.
Yeah. No, don't.
Like, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, don't take advantage of that.
I ask my girlfriend to do way too much.
Well,
Well, I can't say way too much. I'm always busy, so I need the help genuinely.
I'm never busy. Also, she was at work, so like
that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I think me and you are on entirely different ends of the spectrum, and that's probably why this works. That's why our relationship works.
Yeah.
The common ground that we do have, like we both genuinely want to be decent human beings. But yeah, I definitely I rely on my girlfriend for a lot. She does a lot for me, and I do appreciate that. But it's not that I wouldn't do it myself. It's just that I'm genuinely just like hooked up doing stuff. Like, I'm restoring a guitar right now, and it's almost done. But the reason I was able to do that is because my girlfriend was cooking like every single meal that we had eaten.
You guys eat cooked meals?
On occasion.
We usually order stuff.
I mean, as you can tell, I also order stuff with my physique being
I
Exhibit
love
A.
Adderall because actually that's not true anymore because apparently, according to some recent photos that I've discovered of this past summer, I can get fat now, which is a very big disappointment.
But you just have to monitor your dosage, right? Is that going to be the the thing?
And I mean, yeah, I normally could tell. Like when I was in school, the doc would ask, like, "Is it wearing off before you get on the bus to go home? Like, are you feeling sleepy by the time you get out of class at a certain point, whatever?" And I go, "Yeah," and she go, "Okay, we'll up it." And then as well as every time I go in, they're monitoring my weight, and so if I start fluctuating a whole lot, then they know, okay, it's not working. I'm at the max single pill dose now, so like I can't, I can do it, but I don't want to go any higher.
Yeah,
I don't need it. It was very apparent today because I tried to like just not take it as soon as I got up, so I'd have it in my system by the time we started recording today. I wasn't gonna take it till 8:30, and I was like, I don't know where I am right now. I need to take this. Like, I have a blistering headache. Like, it was horrible.
Oh wow! So you do need it for like actually feeling like a functioning human being?
Yeah.
I've
So
never needed, or I've never taken it. I don't know if I actually need it because I've never gotten diagnosed with anything.
yeah,
So-
I mean, there's two different. The way I see it, I guess, is there's two different types of side effects of the withdrawal. I guess there's the actual like withdrawal from just a substance side effects, which would be like headaches and, you know, all this stuff. And then there's just the side effects that are normal without this specific drug in your system and the reason you take the drug in the first place. Whereas like Sundays, I usually don't, because I work from 2:30 p.m. to 11-ish p.m.
Yeah.
I don't end up taking it until I get out of bed. The biggest problem is my wife's already gone to work. So I have like 19 alarms and dogs to wake me up. But I cannot, like, it's a struggle to get out of bed. To like, because first alarm will go off when my wife wakes up at like 3:30, 4, whatever.
Yeah.
And she'll get up. I'll be awake. By the time she closes the door, the big door to go outside and leave, I'm already asleep. I've already turned on a podcast or a YouTube video, turned all the lights on, because I know that if I don't get up, it's going to be a struggle.
Right.
I'm already asleep. By the time, and so then it's a cycle of me killing and recharging my phone because I've taken it off the charger, falling asleep on it and risking a fire. Like, I mean, and it's constant for until about 10:30 to 11. Usually I finally take it around 10:30, and then about 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh, why haven't I gotten up yet? Jesus, fucking slob. I mean, Russ. But yeah, so like it. Oh shit, that was close. But yeah, so like it's.
He almost dropped a beer.
Yeah, it's terrifying how easy it. Like I'm out. It's not
It's not like narcolepsy.
It's
but
not narcolepsy. It's grog. Like I'm just so groggy and sleepy.
Like,
and
do you need something to catch your attention to keep your focus or something?
I just have no ambition to get up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that was one of the things that would actually even help anybody with. Like, you always hear the jokes about Adderall being the number one college drug, you know, for people to get through exams and stuff. But I didn't realize it actually had like any bearing on someone's drive or will to get anything productive done.
Oh yeah, I mean it creates like a hyper focus. Like I'm not Limitless. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I've seen that.
I aspire to create the Limitless drug. Like, that's incredible.
One of my this is actually funny. It actually goes full circle. That's where I actually discovered Adderall for the first time. This is me and my college roommate. Super good dude. Super good dude.
That's a prerequisite
to what's about to be said about him. We watched that film 20 times.
Oh my god.
not because I wanted to watch the film, but because I had my laptop open and I didn't want to do my schoolwork, and that film was playing on the living room TV. So naturally, I'm going to just fucking veer away from schoolwork because schoolwork fucking sucks. So we proceeded to watch that film 20 times. And then 3 weeks later, he's like, oh, man, I'm not feeling too good. I'm like, what's going on, dude? He's like, I don't know. I need to buy some more Adderall off of one of our other campus mates. And I was like, what?
Yeah, Limitless is a gateway drug to meth.
I guess. I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean Adderall? Because, like, I didn't know what it was at the time, so my imagination was just veering off to the worst parts of the world.
Yeah,
like,
he's
I
doing
can visibly
heroin
see
in
that
a fucking street corner somewhere.
I can visibly see that my friend is just not feeling good. He's usually pretty peppy and raring to go. And that's before he'd even thought about Adderall. So, I mean, our grades suffered just because we lacked any discipline other than like working out. Like he and I would work out pretty regularly, but we wouldn't do our schoolwork.
Oh yeah, no. Even with Adderall from the 4th grade level, I never did schoolwork. I mean, I barely graduated.
The only time that I ever even thought about the chance that I could have had a focus problem was 2nd grade. And I know this is a super interesting story for our listeners. No, I
can guarantee you do not have a focus problem.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I had to work actively against it. I focus on the things that I care about. I don't focus on the things that people tell me.
Do you care about everything?
Dude.
Because you spend so much time doing something all the time.
Yes.
You're never not busy, and you're never doing just one thing.
That's entirely true. I think my aversion to that the idle hands, if you will, came at the age of 7 when I was in 2nd grade. So I was in trouble constantly because I wouldn't get any of my schoolwork done.
My 2nd grade teacher called me stupid to my face.
Nailed it.
My mom was right on the other side of the classroom divider when she said it.
She jumped the wall.
No, she didn't hear her say it.
Oh.
But I immediately told her about it. You can ask my... What was her name?
What was your mom's name?
No, the 2nd grade teacher. I'm not going to say it, but now I can't remember. But you can give that name to my mom, and she'll go, yeah, that bitch called my son stupid to his face.
Yeah, my mom didn't care for my 2nd grade teacher either.
My listener will know about this teacher.
It's in fairness, she was a good teacher, knowing that teachers are just adults. And when I grew up, I realized that all adults are just children. She did well. Looking back at the situation from an outside perspective, she wasn't a bad teacher. I was just a little shit. So anyway, to continue my story, I just wouldn't do any of the work that was assigned to me because I didn't care. And when I went home, I just wouldn't do my homework. And I was somehow passively absorbing all of the information that was taught. And so they held my recess hostage. So I was stuck inside the classroom while all my friends were outside playing. And I just had to get 3 assignments done that were like due from the previous week or the week before or something like that. And I was allowed to go and continue having recess with my classmates the moment that I finished all of those. And so she sat me down at my desk after lunch. Instead of getting to go out and play, I'm just in the 4 walls of hell. And she's like, once you get these done, you can go outside with your friends, but it may take a few sessions. Within 10 minutes, I had completed all 3 of the assignments.
Yeah, it just takes
ambition. And then I had given them to my teacher, and then she looked them over because she thought that I just pencil whipped them just to get out of there, which would make sense because I'm sure most children do that.
Mm-hmm.
They were all correct answers, and she was instantly furious, and I thought I got in trouble again.
You were beautiful-minded, that lady.
Dude, it's 2nd grade stuff. I think even 2nd graders know that stuff's easy. I think primary
I can
school,
guarantee you that multiplication tables were not easy.
Dude, they kicked my ass. 3rd grade was a rude awakening for me.
We had this thing
I
called
was in tears.
bubble gum. So we had 2 stages of multiplication time tests: bubblegum, math tests, and then rocket math. It was hell.
Yeah.
I was the lowest scoring student in both second grade classes in that school. I was the slowest. I was the furthest behind on bubblegum. I never even made it to rocket math in second grade.
Dude,
it was so bad.
Dude, I gave up on multiplication. I had just resigned to the fact I was struggling at my mom's kitchen table at like 11 o'clock at night, which for a school kid is super fucking late. And I was like, I'm just gonna have to repeat third grade because I'm not figuring this out. It just doesn't make sense to me. And that's when I learned how to crunch. And that's circling back to my previous statement I was about to make, or my point. I don't think primary school is necessarily challenging. I think that even a disciplined 4-year-old can have the faculties to be able to figure out most problems up until like 4th grade.
Yeah, it teaches 1 of 2 skills.
It teaches you how to stay on task and like power through stuff.
Yeah, it teaches you 1 of 2 skills. If we're going tribal animalistic, breaking it down to just 2, our base instincts, it teaches you how to
cheat.
Well,
3 skills.
It teaches you how to solve a problem. That's the general. It teaches you how to problem solve, right?
Right.
But the avenues you can take, there's 2 paths. You can do it yourself, or you can use my single listener in 5th grade, and she just gets assigned to make sure that at 3 o'clock every day by our 5th grade teacher that you filled out your assignment notebook, and then the previous day got signed. You and the autistic kid.
Great.
Yeah,
yeah. But I think
you just find somebody to do your stuff for you, basically.
Like I'm not a physician, but I think right then and there I was like,
but you told me my prostate was fine.
I mean, you're clear. That's one of the finest prostates I've ever felt in my life. The only time that that's one of the few times my attention was turned inward to like, hey, you might be a little fucking weird, bud.
Yeah.
Again, not a physician. I might have some form of Asperger's. It's because there's some stuff that I miss. I have to actively work.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Asperger's doesn't exist?
I think. Don't quote me on that. I should have said that a lot more last, because I was listening to the last recording, and I made a lot of statements that I'm not sure. Like the Christian Bale beating his mom statement. That's just something I heard about. I don't know if that's true. Sorry, Christian Bale. You're still an asshole, though. But,
I love your films.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that Asperger's is not a term used anymore. It's just the spectrum.
Yeah.
We got to make things easier for everybody to self-diagnose.
I want to, yeah. And that's all this is.
Because when you call something a spectrum, now everybody exists on that spectrum.
Yes. That's inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even the most socially aware person is on the spectrum. They're just all so far off the side of it.
Beep my next statement. It's because
you're the worst. Okay, so I've cleared my Sapper. Okay?
I have as well. And
like, you're not gonna know if you cleared it. That's the beauty of it.
Jumped in my mouth.
You're not gonna know if you cleared it or not until you just. Oh yeah. So good, but you're not gonna know. Like, listen to this.
This is a hardy can.
This is a self-defense implement. This is empty.
That didn't do anything.
This is an empty can. It's so
it
loud.
Feels, it's at least like an ounce.
Yeah.
Empty.
Yeah.
That's insane. It feels like a premature child.
Even if you tried to even like sideways crush it on someone's head, it would be uncomfortable for them.
For science?
No, absolutely not.
I do have a sewing kit though, so we can try. But no, yeah, no. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, second grade, yeah, Mrs. Oh, I do remember her name. I won't say it. Yeah, she called me stupid in my face. I have 2 memories, or a few. I have very little like actual situational memories from elementary school. A few of them come from second grade. One of them was when she called me stupid to my face. Another one was so she had this box in the corner of the classroom that was just full of pencils and crayons and pens and stuff that she would find and lay in there. And if you needed
like
one,
lost and found type
yeah, I mean, if you needed a pen, if you didn't have one, you could go borrow from it.
Okay.
Somebody had taken taken that box, emptied it. It was a cardboard box. It was real small, and wrote the first 3 letters of my full first name, but the first letter was backwards.
In what grade was this? Second grade?
Second grade.
Okay.
The first letter was backwards in that box. Now, she was irate about that, and I don't know why. I think it may have to do with just it was disrespectful.
It's a control thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're dealing with little kids, so if you do anything wrong, you do have to bring it up. I get it. But, like, she was over mad about somebody writing on her cardboard box that was going to get thrown away the next day. Like
The thing, like, this may come across as a generalization, and it's not. But some teachers become elementary school teachers so that they can have a sphere of influence over far more people than they ever should.
Yeah, elementary school teachers. My mom is an elementary school teacher, just a prerequisite. Also, I'm sorry for this next statement. Elementary school teachers and cult leaders are quite alike.
They just want pawns. I guess we all do.
So anyway, so she found that, and again, I'll say this because I'm sure if anybody remembers this from this class, people still think that it was me because she made such a big deal out of it. I will stand by the fact that either I was in a drunken haze at the age of 7, or also, which this one is the fact, I didn't write my fucking name wrong in a cardboard box.
Yeah, you got to think second grade.
But she pulled 3 of us in front of the class.
Were there 3 people who shared your name?
No, it was me and 2 other people that did not share my name. It wasn't even close. They didn't even share any letters. And they were like the 2 smart kids in the class.
Okay.
She pulled us 3 and then accused me, not because it was my name, but because that first letter was backwards. So I had to be the one to do it because I'm the only one that would spell my own fucking name with the first letter backwards.
Doesn't she know the poor penmanship of every individual child?
No!
How? How does she not know that?
That's ridiculous. The amount of shame that she made my 7th grade self feel, first of all, for accusing me of doing this when I swore to God to her that I did not do it. But also saying without saying that I'm an idiot and stupid because I can't even spell my own name right at 7 years old. Like, oh my God. And then the other memory that I have from second grade is we were all lining up to go home for the day, and we had all received the cow people came in Wisconsin, where I'm from. We have every year, especially in elementary school, we have somebody from
you don't have to preface anything with
the dairy
Wisconsin where I'm from. The listeners know by now.
Yeah, the dairy people came in to tell us about dairy stuff.
Your overlords visited?
Yeah, and so they handed out these special pens that had eraser. They were erasable pens.
Those are dope.
And so
even out of elementary school,
I have this sheer humiliation memory of. So it didn't hand it out to everybody. You won because they had like a trivia thing or something, and I won a pen, right? And I knew that the girl that I had a crush on wanted this pen.
Yeah, she did.
And so we're all lined up. One of the girls I had a crush on. I had many crushes. I had one crush that lasted from, kindergarten through 12th grade. And then there were a lot of smaller, littler crushes that happened. This was one of the littler ones that was just in second grade. We were all lining up to go home, and I stood for a good 30 seconds trying to decide whether I should walk over to this, in front of everybody, walk over to this girl's desk and set the pen down or line up. And I was the last person to not line up. Like, I can visually picture this thing happening, and I can also feel this memory happening, and how humiliated I felt. Like, it was so awkward.
Dude, fortune favors the bold.
I have no good memories from second grade is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh my goodness, dude. I remember, this will probably be our last story for this episode, but I remember one of the most embarrassing things that I'd ever done in elementary school. So, did you ever have computer lab up in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we had computer lab too, and it's more so to get you acquainted with using a computer.
Computer lab.
Oh, that's
in first grade.
Do you just want the trophy for this story? We had computer lab, and so they pretty much just taught you how to use a computer, and it was somewhat adjacent to the studies that were taking place in your regular class. So like social studies and geography, and you learn states and stuff on the computer, work on your spelling, stuff like that. Well, this was the first time I'd ever used over-ear headphones, and I had no acoustic reference whatsoever. So I couldn't hear what I was saying. I didn't know how loud or soft I was, and there was just the cheesiest song that was playing on the computer, and it just kept playing over and over again, and it had lyrics to it, and like two of the cutest girls were like on either side of me. And I was like, nice, I got the good spot. Our last names, our first initial of our last names lined up just right. So fucking nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, about 30 minutes into this boring-ass computer program, the song comes on again. And I picked it up, as you would if any song were played over and over again, drilled into your brain. And I started to sing the song about corn and mashed potatoes at such a high volume that the teacher had to go unplug. She didn't tap my shoulder as to not startle me, I assume.
Oh my God.
She had to unplug my headphones from the computer. To my horror, at the shrill volume and the off-pitch singing that I was doing. Like, all of a sudden, it just hit me. I just realized I was like 2 words. It was like rolling a ball downhill. You're not just going to stop it. I just continued to say more words and then slowly get quieter as I realized how
I love those moments.
Amazingly bad.
You know those shower arguments that you have? Or am I the only one?
Again, I'm on the spectrum, so I can't confirm or deny normalcy.
I know that I'm not the only one because I have confirmed that other people do this with other people.
Okay.
But like the phantom argument, like you're going to get into a confrontation with somebody, and so you're like it plays in your head, and then all of a sudden you're mouthing an argument in the shower.
Okay, I'm following now. Yeah.
Even recently, like probably like last week.
Yeah.
Doing my job in my rotation of taking things out of machines and inserting the new thing in the machine with another big machine.
You just made that sound so much more impressive than I did.
It's really not impressive. It's
Thumbs to the left.
Yeah. No, back. Up. Yeah, that's how it goes. But no, so it involves another person at all times. I will catch myself being way too loud. Having either a fake argument or, before we started this, going through an entire single host podcast by myself. This reference won't make any sense, but there was one time when I was in 23.
Right.
So it's that big, really loud room, but in your ears it's loud, but if you're outside of there, you can hear everything going on.
Clearly, yeah.
And I had an entire political podcast out loud happening because, listeners, I'm pretty sure that I'm schizo or something. For about an hour and a half, I was talking to myself.
Right.
No,
did anybody walk in on that, or did they just walk by really
23
quick?
23 is busy. I had plenty of drivers roll up while I'm on the computer or spraying the stuff in the washer, going, and I would go, yeah, and then We'll pause for a second, listeners, while I change this battery. Like,
That's amazing. I like the NPR voice that you employ.
it's really bad.
It's really
This
I love it.
podcast has been a very incredible outlet for my psychosis.
So we can let it out in the right place. It's like a gun nut. You put him on the front lines.
Yeah,
Put him on the front lines because this is his place. This is his home. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our second episode of Chill Prism Podcast. We appreciate you joining us. This is Ben and Russ signing off.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourself.
Follow us on Twitter at Chill Prism Pod and on Instagram at it's probably at Chill Prism Pod or podcast. It's all one word. And send us an email at chillprismpod@gmail.com, I think.
We will have them posted in the link.
Absolutely. And also, we're going to record a clip of me tasing.
Excuse me?
For science.
On next episode of Chill Prism Podcast. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.